Namaskaram, John. Good morning, man. How are you doing, huh?
How are you? Good. Good. Mr. Sadhguru, how are you?
I'm very well. Glad to see you. Huh?
I love your show. I'm looking a lot of your show are fantastic.
uh, so you know about the conscious planet soil movement, and it's a concern everywhere, even in… I heard that you're in Belgium right now, am I correct?
Yes, I'm in Belgium, near Holland. I'm in the North Sea. And of course, the water, as you know, is rising non-stop. We're fighting the water.
As the… see what Europe, your part of the world will face serious problems in terms of… see, there used to be snowfall. Snowfall means it sits there for 3 to 4 months and slowly drips into the soil, which is very good for the soil. But now, as if the temperatures go up by 1 degree, what was coming as snow, a lot of it will come down as rain. And your countries, both the soil, the cities, none of them are structured for that level of rain. And that kind of rain will leach the soil and also it'll cause much flooding, because what would come as snow will start coming as rain once the temperatures rise. That's a serious problem that Europe and especially the northern part of Europe will face in the next few years. So, when it comes to global warming, climate change, everybody is talking about the automobiles, about the oil industry, about this and that. I'm not saying that is not a concern, that is also a concern, a significant concern. But if people want to understand climate change, the simple thing is, maybe in Europe they won't understand. If you come to India, southern India, stand in the hot sun for 1 hour, then walk under the shade of a tree, you will know what is climate change. Climate change will happen right there for you. I'm saying this is all that needs to happen, that maximum amount of soil should be under shade. It should be either grass in grasslands or crops in croplands or bushes or trees or whatever. It should be covered with green leaf one way or the other, because it's the photosynthesis which reverses the whole process. Photosynthesis is the greatest phenomena that's happening here. The oxygen level in the atmosphere is determined by this, and life is possible on this planet only because of that. So, putting back as much as possible, either there must be crops or grasses or trees or something on the soil. You can't plow it open and leave it. Leaving the soil plowed open is like peeling off our skin and going and standing in the sun. That's exactly what we are doing. It looks like our idea of development and our idea of science also is like this. Let us peel the skin off the planet and expose it to the sun and see what happens. That's what we are seeing right now for the last 50 to 100 years. And for that, the results are coming in the form of loss of biodiversity in such a way that it is leading to soil extinction. So, the most important thing is put the skin back. If the skin is back, the healing will happen by itself. Soil is capable of regenerating itself. This does not mean we are not going to farm. In fact, we are going to farm in a much more sensible way, in a much more enriching way, both for the farmer and for those who consume this food, because the amount of nutritional loss that's happened in the food in the last 100 years is unbelievable. The vegetables that people were eating in 1920, what nutrients and micronutrients it had, today we have only 10% of that in 2020. Only 10%. If you ate 1 orange in 1920, what it would give you, today to get the same thing you have to eat 8 oranges. Did you ever have 8 oranges for breakfast, John? It's not practical.
No, no. But I would like to ask you a question regarding that. We're spending so much money trying to go to the moon, and
No, now
also,
everybody is
as you
going to
know,
the
the
Mars.
Amazon forest.
They're given up the moon, they're going to the Mars these days.
Even further, yeah. And I believe truly, if we put all, it's a simple question. To me, the Earth, like you're saying, it's a basket of genetics, and why I think it's very possible today in 2022 to cure this problem.
I mean, what individual people are trying to do, that's not my concern, but I want everybody to understand, this doesn't take a lot of money to regenerate the soil. What it takes is a sustained commitment to regenerate this. This is why we are working towards a policy change. In 192 countries, if you make the necessary policy changes, it will definitely happen. For this to happen, the reason why it's not happened is, why are we thinking of other things, not thinking of fixing the planet, is because people have not spoken. People have just not spoken. Right now this Save Soil movement is about that, to get 3.5 billion people to speak. All of you artists and influencers and celebrities are very important in this. We are trying to put at least 1,000 celebrities who have a minimum of 8 to 10 million following, so that we assimilate all this on the social media and enhance this in a big way, so that if 3.5 billion people speak, that means 60% of the world's electorate would have spoken. So we are writing to all the political parties to make soil ecology a part of their election manifestos. We are giving this soil policy book, which is nearly 800-page book we have produced now, hundreds of ways in which you can regenerate soil depending on your latitudinal position, the region in which you exist, the soil conditions, and of course the agricultural traditions of a particular nation and the economic realities of a given nation. For all of them, different ways to do it. No particular way. Whichever way it works in a given region, it must be done that way. This can be done with a very minimum amount of money. Money is not the important player, it is human commitment and the direction, shift in the narrative as to what is important for our life. Whether going and picking up a little bit of moon dust and coming back here is important, or fixing the soil, which is the basis of all life on this planet, including you and me, is more important. This is something we have to take a call. That is why this movement, on 21st of March, I'm starting off from London, a lone motorcycle, riding 30,000 kilometers or through 27 or 28 nations, and I'm 65, huh? I hope I survive.
Yeah, and what's sad is like when they post, sorry about my language, but if a movie star posts a picture of a G string, something like that, they will have millions and millions of clicks. And when we post something about the soil, about natures, about the problem you're saying right now here on your channel, nobody cares. They don't see the future. They don't see, it's like they're living in a tunnel vision, not knowing the danger that you're explaining to us. So we should pay more attention to people like you who are truly sacrificing their lives to do something for the next person at 65 years old. So how can myself and other movie stars and important people can help you? What can we do really to help you?
See, what I want, Jean, is from 21st of March, for 100 days that I will be riding, we will be enhancing the social media message. So, from 21st of March for 100 days, we want the whole world to speak soil, talk about soil. Let's say you write a mail, you close it with Save Soil. You write a message, say close it with Save Soil. These 100 days, everybody speak about soil. We are in collaboration with UNCCD, and I'm also addressing the COP15, which is happening in Ivory Coast in the month of May. I'm addressing 170 nations. The representatives of… I'm sorry?
What is for people to understand, because you're a very smart man, what is UNCCD for people to understand? Okay, so people know that now.
Yes.
And then you mentioned another word after that one.
This is United Nations Agency for Combating Desertification. It is also the World Food Program also has collaborated with us. We are partners in this whole effort, because the World Food Program, in the last year, that is in 2020, they spent $9 billion distributing food in Africa. This year they're saying they need $15 billion to distribute food because they're expecting many more famines. They're also saying by 2035 there will be dozens of civil wars across the world because of food shortages. So, these agencies, they have what is called as the… recently you must have heard of COP26 which happened in Glasgow. So, now in Ivory Coast there is COP15 by UNCCD. So, I'm addressing 170 representatives of 170 nations. So, this is a good way of getting across and bringing about the policy change. And as I said, we have made a policy document which runs to about 800 pages, of hundreds of ways in which you can transform the soil. So, this is a moment that has to happen. This is a generational responsibility, because if we do it now, if we start doing it now, very effectively in about 15 to 20 years' time, we can turn the soil situation around significantly. But let us say we let it pass, we just let it go like this for another 30, 40 years, and then if we attempt, it will take 150 to 200 years, because the biodiversity loss is happening at that pace. On an average, about 27,000 species of microbes are becoming extinct every year. 27,000 species are becoming extinct every year. If this continues, we will not be able to regenerate the soil. Even… the problem is just like this, if you wake up too late, it's better you not wake up, That's how life is.
Mr. Sadhguru, can I ask you a favor? What you're saying to me, it's fantastic, but you're so informed again and again. Can you give me a simple list for me to try my best to explain to all my fans and other actors how to explain what you're saying to me on a very simple way? Because
Yes.
some people, they like action movies and they have a certain level of understanding. You know what I'm saying?
You got to John, you need to punch them in the head and tell them okay.
I re-
They won't get
no,
it
I know.
otherwise.
I'm very. Yeah, no, but I need this from you to make people understand.
So we will give you…
Yeah.
in the social media like Facebook and Instagram, for it to aggregate this, we are using some simple terms like living soil, soil our very body, conscious planet, save soil, let us make it happen. So we will send you these things. I will ask Tina to send you these things to you. Look at that and make your own short video and end it with, let us make it happen, okay? This will help a lot, and if you can connect with your other friends in the movies and tell them also to do this, because I don't want them to think they have to support me, they don't have to support me. 100 days, all of us speak of soil at the same time in a concerted way. Every one of us talk about soil. This will get registered and get aggregated. No government, no democratic government will ever ignore the numbers. In a democracy, the only currency is numbers, because numbers is what makes the government, numbers is what dismantles the government. So, we just have to create those numbers.
But today they have a supercomputer. You know what's a petaflop, right? Why we don't have supercomputer saying what you're saying in every technology and every aspect all over the world? This is a very easy things to do, printing, images.
Yes. See, but supercomputers were made by human beings, they are being programmed by human beings. Unless human beings start thinking like that, supercomputer is not going to think like that. So that's… right now we are working with the human beings, we want 3.5 billion people to say it. When they say it, every computer in the world is going to say the same thing, because behind every computer is a man or a woman.
Exactly right, but supercomputer, I believe, are in advance against human. We saying they are dangerous, but I believe their main concern it's life on Earth. They don't want to die, like people like you or the future of their future. So, like you're saying, behind every computer we have a man and a woman. I think those men and women, they can also give the computer a mission, which is to inform a maximum of people of this simple list you're going to give me. I think
Yes.
that's a way to approach
That
also.
will be great if that can be done, yes. every way. It doesn't matter which way. As a generation, we have this responsibility and we have this privilege that we are in a cusp of time that we can actually turn back from a disaster. But if we let it go for another 30, 40 years, it will not be possible to turn back. So, we as a generation have this possibility, we must make use of it, otherwise we're going to seriously regret this in the next… because this is not even next generation, another 20 years, we are going to see this happen in a big way.
You know, Mr. Sadhguru, when I was 9 years old, my dream, I was praying to save the planet. At that time, it was 1969.
Then now it's coming true. Now it is coming
and
true.
And I promise you, I saw lots of rain. I've seen rain. At the age of 18, I made a dream, but a very realistic dream, and I saw huge amounts of rain. And the gift I received from life, from plasma, was not saving… I didn't save anything, basically. I became what we call a movie star due to my martial art. But it's like almost the only answer I can give you is to go to places, but I've seen something totally different. And I can feel what you're saying intuitively, and I don't have your knowledge, but I've seen that rain. So I've seen what you're saying. So we have to promote what you're saying to make that happen, to make that happen on a good way.
John, you must come and spend some time with us. We will teach you a simple way where you can change your very chemistry into a blissful chemistry. I would like to see that you wake up, live and go to bed blissfully, joyfully. Why not? Every human being can do it because this is a human capability. If we make up our minds, we can decide how we think, how we feel, how we experience life. This is the power of being human. So right now, there is no need to be hopeless about it. Yes, situation is bad, but it is not hopeless. We can turn this around in the next few years. This is what it is about. Don't give up on this. This is very important. Your childhood dream must come true at least now. It has to come true. So let's get together and let's make this happen. That saving soil is very much a possibility. It is one big piece of everything. It is not everything, but it's one major piece of the solution. If we do this one thing, the rest of things will happen. Above all, to create a conscious planet. The only reason why the planet is in the situation that it is human beings with the capacity that they have, they're supposed to function consciously, but they're functioning in a compulsive way, in an unconscious and compulsive way. Because of this compulsiveness and unconscious ways of doing things, this is the result that's happened. We are still trying to work like a bug or an animal or a bird. For their capability, they can be compulsive, they won't cause much damage. But for our capability, we have to function consciously. Unfortunately, we are still in a compulsive mode. That's what needs to change, that is the purpose of Conscious Planet movement. So do not give up on this. Your childhood dream, we must see that it comes true. We will make it come true.
But I truly want to help you. I'm a warrior. I need to receive instruction from you, very simple instruction, and I really mean that, so I can follow them, I can study them, and then I can translate them on a simple way, and then I can send them around the world the best I can for 100 days. And you and I can stay maybe in contact when you're traveling around the world. Yes. And I can be one of your soldier for this.
I'll be in Brussels, but a real soldier, a real warrior is that person who will prevent war by strength, not by weakness. So one who gets into a war is not the warrior. The warrior is that person who builds a certain level of competence. With that competence, he avoids or prevents war. That is the most important thing. Yeah. So…
I mean, not war, not the war like a war.
No, I understand.
Warrior of instruction, you know what I'm saying.
I got it, but why I'm saying this is because whenever people talk about environmental activity, they're always trying to fight with somebody, some big company, oil company, automobile company, fertilizer company like this. We want to make this clear This is not against anybody. All of us are culprits. We need to transform. All of us have used cars, all of us have used other equipment, all of us have, eaten from this planet. So we are all part of it. Who did it is not the point. But solution, we want everybody to participate. And you are a very important piece in this because, Hollywood and the movies have such a big influence on people. You must use this influence to turn this around because this is the first time that such a thing is happening. There is something called a soil extinction across the globe. It's happened to small civilizations, it happened for the Mayan civilization, it happened to Mesopotamia, it even happened around Rome, where clearly it is recorded the soils went, became lifeless and they couldn't produce food. And because there was no transportation like today, the cities or those civilizations just collapsed because they could not feed their populations and people moved out of those big cities. So this has happened in the past in small localities or small areas of the world. This is the first time it's happening across the planet. And this is the first time in the history of humanity that we can sit here and talk to the entire world. This is the very first time. Many great beings have come in the past, but when they spoke, hardly 10 people heard. This is the first time. So especially people like you who have the necessary reach in the world and all your friends in the same industry, if all of you speak, the world will reverberate with it.
Can you think about what's happened to the Amazon forest? It's crazy what's going on.
No, John, it's very easy to fix this. See, for example, all the Western nations and most nations on the planet have removed all the trees from their countries and built cities and works. But now we want Brazil to save their forests for our oxygen. I'm just saying, if you want oxygen from Brazil, which is being given free to you, all you have to do is for every square kilometer, you pay some money for not demolishing the forest. Why nobody is paying any money to Brazil?
So we should find stuff like that. I mean, it's very easy to rent oxygen. They can rent oxygen so they can fight the quota, but then the city they will become more polluted. But at least we will not touch areas like the Amazon or Congo, because nobody never heard this idea. But I think it's a fantastic idea. Renting oxygen, it costs nothing. We don't kill the trees. They make money, and the factory they can keep on producing pollution. But it goes around the world, of course, and then it gets filtered by the South and North Antarctica, and then the snow is melting. And also we have another problem. People, they make children, which is normal, but imagine if we can, again and again, you're gonna kill me, but if we can make less children and adopt other children for maybe 2 generations, we can downsize the size of the population.
Definitely.
Because life, it's like a cycle, it's like
There
a
is,
golden ratio.
There is only one real problem, that is, in the beginning of 20th century, the world's population was 1.6 billion people. Today we are inching towards 8 billion people. By 2050, they are saying we'll be nearly 10 billion people. This is the biggest disaster on the planet, okay? So, human beings, if they don't reduce their footprint, reducing footprint is not only by changing technologies, but by definitely sizing down the population. This is very important. This is not by killing people or something, but children… No. It is not necessary for everybody. See, if you are a tiger, I would say please breed, because they are endangered. Human beings are not endangered, we are nice, but we are just too many. There's no question about that.
Yes.
I've instituted an award for all those young women who are healthy, who can bear children, but have chosen not to bear children in their life. I am instituting an award for them, and people hate me for that, but I think they need an award because that is the greatest service you can do, that you did not extrapopulate this world in your generation.
Yeah. So you have a lots of children that can be adopted. We're not killing people.
No, don't say adoption, because if you have to adopt, somebody else will start producing. Don't do that. It's not necessary. You can live by yourself. It's not necessary everybody should have children.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, adopting is better than making right now.
No, no, to adopt also somebody else has to make it, right?
Yeah, but they are without parents anyway. So they are alone and they need to be taken care of. So
That's okay, if a child needs adoption, yes, we must take care. But I'm saying the important thing is to understand this life is a complete life by itself. It is not going to become complete because you reproduce. It is complete as it comes.
yeah, we made a big mistake. We killed this fantastic man, Nikola Tesla, and we should have listened to him many years ago. He was one of our prophets. He came with this, create this free energy, and he disappeared, and then everything became pollution. You know, we did have a chance to listen to people like that, to people like you, and I'm wishing you a lots of luck. But it's a big fight.
We need your support. We need your support, not luck. We'll make it happen. If you make a short video with these points, he will send you 4 or 5 points, use it whichever way you want in your own words. Say it in English, say it in French, say it in whichever language you know. And also if you can bring your industry together to make this happen, thank you very much if you can do that.
Thank you. And when you go around the world, be careful. Don't.
I'll be in Brussels, we'll catch up with you, huh?
Yes, it will be such a pleasure for me to see you and to shake your hands in person.
Yes. No boxing, okay? Just shaking hands.
I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover.
Thank you, wonderful John, wonderful talking to you. Thank you very much. Let's make it happen.
I love you. Thank you so much.